Welcome to the session on Trivial File Transfer Protocol, which is abbreviated as TFTP. Let's start with the learning outcomes. At the end of this session, student will be able to describe TFTP as a simple file transfer protocol. They will also describe 5 type of TFTP messages and their applications. So, let's start with Trivial File Transfer Protocol. So, this is designed for the simple type of file transfer. So, what do you mean by simple type of file transfer? As we know, for simple type of file transfer or a file transfer, we uses FTP protocol, which is provided by application layer, or we can say that FTP is a client server application program which provides the various services to the user. If we have FTP, then why there is a need of trivial file transfer protocol? So, in some situation, suppose we only want to upload or we only want to download a simple files, then we do not require the various features of FTP. Suppose, for example, for booting a router or for booting a bridges or for booting a diskless workstation, what we require? We require just few files should be configured. Okay. So, for that configuration of file, we do not need to use the FTP. So, the solution is TFTP. So, trivial file transfer protocol can only read or write a file for the client, and it does not uses the several features of FTP. So, TFTP uses the services of UDP on the well-known port number 69. There are 5 types of messages. So, let us see 5 types of messages are read request, which is abbreviated as RRQ, then WRQ, that is write request, then data, acknowledgement and error. So, let us see all 5 messages one by one. RRQ, the read request message. It is used by the client to establish a connection for reading the data from the server, and its message format includes total 5 fields. So, the first field is opcode, which is set to 1. The next field is file name. So, file name is variable in length and terminated by 1 byte field with all zeros. Then the next field is transfer mode. So, TFTP provide 2 transfer mode. The first is ASCII mode and the second one is binary mode or the octet file. Now, next let us see the write request. This message is used by the client to establish a connection for writing the data to the server, and its message format is same as that of read request, but only the change is here opcode field, that means the first field which reserve the 2 bytes is set to 2 and the remaining fields are same as that of read request. Now, look at the third message, that is the data message. The data message is used by the client or server to send the block of data, and its message format contains 3 fields. The first field is of course opcode, which is set as 3, and the next field is block number. So, what is this block number? This block number is used for sequencing, means all the blocks are numbered sequentially, which starts from 1. The block number is necessary for acknowledgement. Now, then the third field is data field. So, the size of the data field is 512 bytes. So, a non 512 bytes block is used as an end of file indicator. So, data can be transferred in either NVT ASCII or binary octet format. After that, the next field is acknowledgement field. So, the acknowledgement message is used by the client or a server to acknowledge the receipt of the data block. So, whenever TFTP sends the data, okay, whenever it sends the data, server sends the acknowledgement for that particular data, and this message is only 4 byte long. Now, look at the format of this acknowledgement. So, this acknowledgement message only 4 bytes are used and only 2 fields are there. The first one is opcode, which is set to 4, and the next field is block number. So, which is this block number? Now, in previous slide we have seen the data message. So, in this data message, each and every data block has a block number. So suppose the block number is 1, then the acknowledgement of this block number is provided by this acknowledgement message, and here the block number is 1. So this is what? This is acknowledgement message. Now look at the next message, that is error message. So in this error message or this message is used by the client or the server when the connection cannot be established or when there is a problem during the data transmission. It can be sent as a negative response to read request or write request. It can also be used if the next block cannot be transferred during the actual data transfer phase. The error message is not used to declare the damaged or the duplicated messages. So what it means, whenever we send or whenever any client sends the read request to the server, okay, so there are two conditions. The first condition, it accepts the message, and the another condition, there is error. So the error message has been sent by the server. Now look at the format of this error message. So error message contains total 5 fields. The first one is opcode, second one is error number, third one is error data, and the last one is 1 byte which is reserved, and that is all 0. So this opcode field is set to 5 for error message. Then the error number, which defines the type of error. So there are various type of errors that we are going to see in my next slide. Okay, so that error number is mentioned here. Then the error data, that is the variable length data. Now see what are the various error numbers are there. Now look at this table. This table contains the various error types. Okay, so there are total 8 types of error which starts from 0. If that number is 0, that means that error type is not defined. If it is 1, that means file not found. If that error block is set to 2, that means what? Access violation. If it is set to 3, that means the disk is full or the quota is exceeded. If that error type is 4, okay, or that error number field is set to 4, that means that is illegal operation. If it is set to 5, that means the unknown port number. If it is 6, it is file already exists, and if 7, then there is no such file. So these are the various type of errors which are shown in this table. Now the error data, I am talking about the last field, that is error data. So this error data is a variable byte field, contains the textual error data and is terminated by the 1 byte field of all zeros. Okay, so all these are what? 5 messages which are used by the trivial file transfer protocol. Now look at the next message, that is connections in TFTP. Okay, so let's see various connections in TFTP. Actually FTP provide 2 connection, that is control connection and data connection, and there are 2 communication path for transmission of control information and the transmission of data information. But here TFTP uses the services of UDP while FTP uses the services of TCP. So here, as I said, the TFTP uses the UDP services. So in UDP there is no provision for connection establishment and the termination, right? So UDP transfer each block of data encapsulated in an independent user datagram. But TFTP do not want to transfer only one block of data or the file as independent block. So there is need of connection for the block of data being transferred if they all belongs to the same file. So here for this purpose, to make, or it, as I said, it uses the TFTP, it uses the UDP, but it still provide the reliable communication. So why? Because of what? Some messages. So TFTP uses RRQ, WRQ, acknowledgement and error message to establish the connection. It uses the data message with a block of data of a fewer than 512 bytes. That means what? It's terminate the connection. Okay, so this fewer code is used for the termination of the connection. There is no such code is used for the termination of connection. So just pause the video and tell me the answer, that if TFTP uses the UDP services, then file transfer protocol uses which transport layer protocol? So, FTP uses TCP as a transport layer protocol for the transmission of data. Now, let us see the connection in the TFTP. So, as I said, it established the connection and it terminate the connection. So, this is the connection for reading. Now, look at here, client sends what? RRQ, that is read request. So, the first byte is always set to 1. The second one is file name, which is nothing but the file 1, and the next is ASCII, that means the transmission mode. So, once this request is received by the server give the feedback in two terms, whether it just give the data, okay, or it give the error message, right. So, if it is a data, that means what? It sets in its first field, that is 3, and the first block of data. If it is a error message, then it sets the opcode as a 5 and the error data. Got it? So, this is the connection for reading. Now, look at the connection for writing. The same thing. Client said the write request and the server respond with the positive response and the negative response. If it is positive, then it sends the acknowledgement. If it is negative, then it sends the error. Now, so this is what connection termination. So, after the entire file is transferred, the connection must be terminated. TFTP does not have the special message for termination. Then the termination is accomplished by sending the last block of data, which is less than 512 bytes. This is data transfer. So, the data transfer phase occur between the connection establishment and termination. TFTP uses the services of UDP, which is unreliable. Okay. So, this UDP does not have the mechanism of flow and error control, but TFTP has to create the flow and the error control mechanism to transfer the file made for the continuous block of data. Then look at this data transfer. So, here error control is needed in 4 situations where the file is damaged, where it is lost message, where the lost acknowledgement and the duplicate message. Now, look at the TFTP applications. TFTP is very useful for basic file transfer where the security is not a big issue. Then it can be used to initialize the devices such as bridges or router. It uses with the DHCP, it require only a small amount of memory and uses only the services of UDP and IP, and it can easily be configured in read only memory or programmable read only memory. This is the reference. Thank you.